Hi, it's National Otter Day, so here's my graduate school project that the government chose not to fund. By the way, I'm Josh, I'm a biologist, and this is Basement Biology. Now what I was looking at was how much carbon is stored by sea otters' presence in the kelp forest. Now kelp forests, if you don't know, are one of the most biodiverse and productive ecosystems on the planet. And funny enough, there's a lot of socioeconomic benefits related to kelp forests through fishing, recreation, tourism, and protection from wave erosion. Not to mention the massive amounts of carbon that they sink that cleans our air, reduces ocean acidification, and hypoxia. And why is there a lot of carbon in the air? Because we burn a lot of fossil fuels. Now, if you want to improve our air quality, we could just burn less fossil fuels, but here's another crazy idea, is we increase the amount of plants that turn the carbon back into lovely oxygen. And not only will the entire globe benefit from this, but also the 740 million people that live within a 50-kilometer distance of kelp forests. Okay, it sounds like kelp forests are the reason why carbon gets sunk, but where do sea otters come into all of this? Because sea otters are the reason why in some parts of the globe, kelp forests are in a 90% decline. That's bad. And it's because they're what's called a keystone species, which means the entire ecosystem hinges on their survival, because without sea otters, sea urchins eat all of the kelp, and without the kelp, the rest of the ecosystem falls apart. And there's no sea otters because we hunted them to near extinction in the late 1800s during the fur trade because we wanted to wear their fur, which is the densest on the planet. Not excusing it, but I do see the reason why. But now we're seeing why sea otters' massive effect on kelp forests would have a massive effect on carbon storage. It's all directly linked. Ugh, but Josh, obviously the government doesn't care about sea otters, animals, the ecosystem, air quality, us, our health. Yes, but you know what they do care about? Money! And in 2023, a study found that kelp forests generate $500 billion globally. And with 90% of them in decline, we can only assume that carefully managed kelp forests could skyrocket this number to a amount untold. Just through carbon storage alone, kelp forests could generate hundreds of millions of dollars. Now, how do you bring back kelp forests? By bringing back sea otters, which we already knew, but my project was going to look at how many sea otters in a specific area sink a specific amount of carbon. And so with that, we can kind of get an idea of how much money to invest in sea otter conservation and expansion of their range, and how much money we could then make back from that investment. Crazy! Reduce carcinogens in the air, improve quality of life, save human lives, animal lives, bolster our ecosystems and our coastal neighborhoods, and make a shit ton of money on top of that for everybody, or drill for more oil and destroy the ecosystems while you do it. Oh, but the drilling for more oil, you put that money directly into your individual pocket, right? Sorry, how can I be so silly? I forgot about that one.